Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Raging Fury 55 bringing you guys a brand new video, and today we have a very special podcast where I interviewed my brother's friend who is a Halo veteran in the Halo community. So this guy, he played Halo back when Combat Evolved and Halo 2 were big games, and he talks about the community, how matchmaking worked, all that good stuff. So it was just very interesting to learn about the Wild West days of Halo. I mean, the environment was completely different. There was some, overlap between, 2005 and now, but overall, it was a completely different scene. Like Halo on YouTube was not huge back then, and a lot of other things were completely different back 15 years ago in the Halo community. So I hope you guys enjoy. Leave, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Big thanks to Nathan for coming on the podcast. Also, Nathan introduced my brother to Halo. My brother introduced Halo to me back a long time ago. So, if it wasn't for Nathan, I might have not seen Halo. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. Leave a comment down in the comments if you want anyone else to come on the podcast. I'm going to try to get Eagle Precursor and Innermost Moon on. But if you guys want anyone else, let me know down in the comments. I would like to hear your suggestions. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the podcast, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Raging Fury 55, aka Troy Hackett, and today we have a very special podcast. Podcast number 2. We'll call it the Killing Air Podcast. I don't know. Placeholder name. But today we have a very special guest. This is my brother's friend, Nathan, who was a big Halo 1 and 2 player. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's like a dinosaur, basically.
Basically, yeah. It's like I fought in World War II, like long time ago, different experience. So, yeah, it's great.
Do you play Halo anymore or not anymore?
I don't, man. I haven't even gotten upgraded from just the old original Xbox. So, I mean, that lets you know the last time I kind of played any Halo. Or actually, I mean, I guess, yeah, I played with you and Phil, 10, 12, 13 years ago. And I was terrible, but, it's just a different experience now with everything. But, I don't even know what it would be like in the old game still.
Yeah, I remember my cousin, he played you, and he was like, wait, that was it? This is the legendary player?
No, dude, yeah, I know the controls are different. I mean, I don't know. I can't even, it's been so long now, I can't remember what was the hold up in general, but I know that, yeah, it was just, I just did not have even close to what I was, I could feel it. I went from being, top player in all the matches I was in to being fodder for you guys when we were playing.
Losing to a 9-year-old.
Yeah, pretty much consistently. So, yeah, what are you going to do, dude? And hopefully, I went from, being someone who easily kill Phil to hoping Phil would save my butt when we were on the same team.
So yeah, tell us a bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you started playing Halo, all that stuff. Yeah,
so I'm from Anaheim, California, in Orange County. Grew up there basically my whole life. I started playing Halo in high school after I got my Xbox. I think I was a freshman or sophomore when I got that, and second Halo came out while I was in high school too. I played both of those, and I started getting really good really after I started playing online. Before Xbox Live was really big, they had a kind of like a free version of it called XB Connect, which I'd play very often, especially when I'd miss school, which was often. So I'd be at home playing that with guys on there. So I was able to get really good through that experience. So yeah, and I kind of just kept playing after that, and then just kind of life happened and didn't play as much. So that's where I'm at now.
Damn. Do you and Phil have any crazy online stories you have? Any crazy matches you guys had?
One that always comes to my mind was that when I was at my peak, this was Halo 2, was my cousin who Phil has played with, and he's not as gifted in gaming, unfortunately. Phil and Daniel, they both didn't have an Xbox. They would just really play with mine. They're both good, competitive. But my cousin, who had an Xbox, played a lot of Xbox, played Halo, had Halo. he was fodder for them, you know? So, you know, and it would be me and my cousin teamed up against them, and they would, you know, we would struggle just because they'd kill him so easily. And so it'd basically be me against Daniel and Phil. I don't remember how the matches went out. I think it was fairly even throughout, just because, you know, obviously they would have a really hard time killing me, but then my cousin, they would just, I feel like, really aim for and go for. And so it was me trying to pick up, you know, the slack there. But so he invited me one night to go to play at his church. He went to a private school through a church. It was actually, if you're familiar with Orange County, it was the Crystal Cathedral Church. And he went to school. They had a little school thing. It was there. And it was like a Friday, Saturday night. And I thought he was just, you know, hey, you know, we're cousins, cool, or, you know, bonding time. Little did I find out is he just wanted he wanted me to go basically beat the crap out of a bunch of guys there who would give him a crap. So, which ended up being fine. I'm cool with that, but I just thought it was really funny. So I get there and I'm set up on, they had 4 TVs, 4 Xboxes. And I'm you know, I'm on his Xbox with him. And like I mentioned, he's not the best Halo player.
Yeah.
And then his other 2 buddies, they don't even have Xbox, so they weren't good at all. So I'm basically the only good person on our team, and we're going against everyone else. No one knew me. I was kind of introverted anyway, so it's not like I'm going out talking to all the other guys. So I'm just like probably this questionable guy, just like coming in from nowhere, because everyone else there was from the church. And I just remember we were playing, and I was just going off, like killing people left and right. And I remember one guy, the guy specifically my cousin wanted me to beat down. I just remember at one point, he's like across the room, and my screen name that I've always used was Wafer. And it's such a weird, you know, I had that nickname in school, kind of weird story how I got it, but nonetheless, it's not a very intimidating name. And so it makes it worse when you get killed by someone a lot named Wafer. And so I just remember standing up, be like, who the frick is Wafer? Like, he keeps killing me. Like, and so it just came to discussion, all these guys. I didn't say anything. I just kept playing. And eventually all the guys were like, who the frick is this Wafer guy? He's just killing all of us. Like, and I think, you know, they had good players there that, you know, I don't think our team really ever won, but our team was always close to winning, but only because I was kind of the main one doing all the killing, and doing most of everything. But eventually they had to figure out who I was. And then that guy ended up, you know, I think, you know, apparently he picked on my cousin a little bit, but he was really nice to him after that, I think, which kind of worked it out. But you know, it made me feel good that, hey, at least I could, you know, I have some, be serviceable with what my talents that I've produced up to this point through Halo. So that was kind of a fun little night that I had, going to town on a bunch of people at this private school church little Halo playing thing. So
So was it like a 4v4v4v4 or?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it was 4 teams. Yeah. So 4 against each one.
And just like Slayer, capture the flag.
Yeah, it was Slayer. I know they did capture the flag as well. I don't remember that as much. I mean, honestly, capture the flag, I wasn't as big on doing, like, fulfilling the actual game, you know, the purpose of the game of actually getting the flag.
No one actually plays objectives.
Exactly. So. I just wanted to, you know, I just ended up killing people and go around like slaughtering people, and that's kind of what I like to do. So that's what I did, and that's, I think, you know, basically what I was doing the whole time. And that's, I think, one of the games we were playing when he was just like, okay, like, he kept getting the flag, but I kept like basically sniping him from like way far away. So over and over and over, which, you know, obviously made him really frustrated because he's like had no idea where it was, and I'd been just slaughtering him the whole night up to that point. So yeah, it was good times. It was great. It was great being at that level at one point in my life, and then going back and just, you know, like I said, playing with you guys and just getting destroyed like crazy. So I mean, maybe one day I'll pick it up again and get back to being that good.
So your gamer tag was Wafer?
Yeah, Wafer 36.
Okay.
The numbers, just numbers, but yeah, I don't know. I just want to throw some numbers in there too. But
no, because like I was about to say, like, if it was just like Wafer, like that'd be scary. Because like people who just have like a gamer tag with like no numbers,
true.
Like those people are scary. Like, you know, they're good.
Now I think about it, I think on my Xbox it might have just been Wafer, but from then, like, going on online stuff, it kind of had the 36 added in, just because I like that number. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can understand if it was just Wafer. But I know for the most part, at least more recently, whenever I've done some stupid like online phone gaming or something, I'll put the 36 on there.
Got it.
But yeah, I can understand. Yeah, I should definitely. I doubt there's very many people, if any, who have Wafer as their screen name. So I think that is a good point, and I definitely will use that going forward. It is a little more intimidating being the Wafer, you know?
Yeah, you could have like secured it back in like 2005. Like,
right?
I don't think anyone would have taken it by then.
Yeah.
Like, now it's really hard to get like just like a single word name.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who knows? I guess I'll try. We'll see.
Because like if I'm playing like a Slayer game and I match a kid named like Illusion, I already know I'm fucked. Like he's like probably like playing for like 20 years. Or some
No,
shit.
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's good. Yeah. Other than that, like online, I remember playing. Usually, like I was always top or second best person in the group playing. Usually, was playing Slayer, and I didn't, the other person, if they were better than me, it wasn't by much. It was like a little bit, 1 or 2 kills or something. But every once in a while, you get those guys who are just like head and shoulders above you randomly. And those are always fun. Luckily, I tended to have those guys on my team more randomly, which was nice. And I just, it was fun because I remember one guy in particular that he just, he was very vocal while he played too. Not a lot of people had microphones on this setup with XP Connect, but he had microphones and he was talking crap while he was doing it too, and he was definitely backing it up. So it was fun. I just remember just totally just watching him just rampage on people, and I was just kind of following his lead. And so it was just our teams would just unfortunately it didn't last very long because I think we had a hard time finding groups to stay and play against us because we were just mopping the floor with people.
Yeah, I get that. Do you have like any clips you saved from like back in Halo 2 or Halo 1?
Oh, clips of me playing?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Like back in your golden days.
Oh, I wish. That was like I feel even like recording yourself play. So
Sure.
I don't have any clips of me playing. So yeah, it wasn't even a thought of doing that. So unfortunately I don't. So can't say I do. But that would have been nice.
Did you watch like any like Halo content back then? Like any like montages or like was that like even like a thing back then?
I remember a little bit. I remember it was harder. I know that there's some talk of like watching some guys play at these like championships for Halo.
There wasn't stuff on YouTube though.
But it wasn't like a lot.
Yeah,
it was
we didn't
harder
watch
to
YouTube.
find.
Because like, YouTube just came out back then.
Yeah.
So I remember like hearing about it and watching very, very little from what I could maybe like 1 or 2 videos that I was able to kind of even find just to kind of more see like, cause there's some guys like back in the day, Halo 1, the weapon was the pistol, which, that was just, the ultimate weapon. And then just how good some guys could be at the pistol and how insanely good they were because of how lethal it could be compared to any other weapon. I think still since. I know they changed it in Halo 2, but I'm assuming they don't have as dominant of a weapon as they did as the pistol in Halo 1. So just, being able to more kind of watch someone's, using that while playing and how good they were was was kind of the only thing I kind of sought out to see occasionally.
So like there really wasn't like any content to like learn from, I guess.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
There was, like I said, that video, and that's where we kind of learned on how to better aim to get the headshots, like with the pistol and different weapons. But other than that, like there wasn't a lot, yeah, exactly like I said, to kind of learn from and different approaches. Maybe you could say on different like maps or something for tactics and stuff. A lot of it was just kind of learning as you go, and then hopefully you figured out good stuff and then that you could use. So.
Man, you could have like created your own YouTube channel and just like dominated.
know, right?
Like, had a complete monopoly on the Halo scene.
Right. Yeah. Now thinking now if I had that hindsight before, then that would have been pretty awesome to do that. And yeah, be able to attack that with some good content. So yeah, you're right. That would have been fun.
'Cause I feel like you're a good commentator, and it's like I feel like I don't know, like maybe if you knew how to like record and stuff like that back then, would you have done it? You think or?
I think so. If I had known it would have been a thing, I definitely would have. I think, I was good enough and played enough and had, I think at that time, good enough experiences here and there playing that it would have been really nice and fun to do that. And I think I would have definitely done that. I think that would have been a lot of fun. But, gaming, like how it's on YouTube and you can watch it, is just so different than what it was back in
Yeah.
2004, 2005, 2003. So, over 15 years ago. So the world's changed quite a bit. So
Yeah, it's like now it's like the market for like, at least for like gaming content is extremely saturated. Like there's so many videos and so much competition to go against. But like back in like 2005, if you just like bought like a capture card, you would have done really well just recording your own videos.
Right. Yeah.
Just excuses.
Yeah, I should be a massive YouTuber. I'm just, I'm too shit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And people are always saying that though, right? Like they're always saying, if I could have only started earlier, there's too much competition. But when you come later, you also have the advantage of, like you said, you can see what the people who are making it, what they're doing, and just copy them and then make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, which is a huge advantage,
No,
because you already know that the market is there, right? That's why it's competitive, because there's a lot of people who want that. Right.
I think a big part of it is also, just personality commentary wise. Like if you have good commentary, like you mentioned, like it's, as long as you're, even if you're really bad, if you have good enough commentary, like it's going to be enjoyable to watch and fun to watch. It might even be different. So someone can just be a terrible Halo player and just being, getting raped left and right, and like
it'd be funnier actually. If you're terrible, that'd be funny, dude. You're just like awful.
Is good, especially talking trash on like the one barely killing someone and then doing everything you can to talk crap, but then getting slaughtered left and right. Like that could be something different too. So something that a lot of people I'm sure would enjoy to watch. So you just gotta find your way to make it work and not be boring and be fun and exciting and enthusiastic, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I don't think like you don't have to be like the most amazing player. I know this one YouTuber currently, he has like 1.3 million subscribers. This guy named Zanny, and basically he's like a terrible player. And on top of that, he lives in like Thailand or something. So he plays on like 400 ping or some like crazy like bad Wi-Fi connection.
Wait, what's good ping? Like
good ping is 0. You want to have 0.
Zero. Okay.
Yeah, and his commentary is just really good. He just make like a bunch of like racist jokes like in between, and like boom, like 2 million views.
And he can do that because he lives in Thailand. Okay, so we can't go find him.
It's true.
I don't know what
I lost that chance because I was born in white male, so I can't condone too much.
Yeah, so like basically like I don't know what specific Asian country he lives in, but apparently the scene where where Thanos was like picking like where Thanos like lived after he like snapped his fingers. Apparently, like where they took that
his little hut.
Where that was filmed. Like probably that's where like that's the country he lives in.
So he lives in one of those huts.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
That was actually his house where they filmed it. Where they filmed Thanos.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you have good commentary like that, or just be a really good-looking girl, I guess, and you're set.
Dude, that guy must be living like a king in Thailand though, with that many subs.
Yeah, but he was like pretty frugal. Like he didn't have a legitimate capture card for the longest time.
Okay.
Like, he was record like 720p videos, like super like not like the best quality. But his commentary was like gold.
What does he play?
So like basically he used to only do Halo. Oh boy.
Oh my bad.
So like he only played Halo at first, like back in like 2015, 2016. And he started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And around like when he hit like 200K subs, he started branching out. He started playing like Battlefront, what else? Call of Duty, like all the first-person shooters. And he realized, I think what he realized was like people didn't watch his videos because of the game he was playing. He was getting watched because of his commentary. I mean, he was just like super hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff that he was saying as he was playing, or
yeah.
Okay. So I didn't know if he was commenting like afterwards.
No, so it'll be like live commentary.
Live commentary, okay.
So like he'll make like a. I'm not gonna say any of the jokes because like I don't want to get like striked or anything, but
yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have any of the passes, so
Yeah.
So like, how was your social life back in high school? Like because
Terrible.
you're like a big gamer.
Best, dude. Of course, I was a king.
That's how I got so good at Halo.
Yeah, exactly. How do you think I got good at Halo, man? Like, basically hung out with Phil and Daniel and how's basically
That's about it.
Our Friday nights were set. we'd go out together, snuggle a little bit, play some Halo, and that was it. I mean, even the weekdays, it's not like we did a whole lot. I mean, we didn't really do anything. We did cross country and track, and that was the only thing that kept us
running,
not going home right after school. But I mean, we basically do our runs that we had to do with that, and then go home and be home and do it.
And also socialize more, because like with cross country and track, all the other guys, or else it's like we would just be with Jenkins in his classroom every day at lunch.
Right. Yeah, we also had some Friday nights we played board games with one of our teachers.
Which sounds really bad.
Sounds really weird
now, dude.
I thought like Jenkins was like a super mean teacher, like right? Like he's pretty mean.
No.
I mean, no, he was good. He was short tempered. Mm-hmm. Me and him had an interesting relationship, to say the least.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. Let me clarify what our relationship was. Yeah. But so. When I was in high school, I was not very interested in the academic stuff, and I would try to do really the least I could, especially at the start before I got really bored of, doing the least I could to just get an A in a class or something.
Yeah.
And he was not about that. And then he was really he was the AP European history teacher, and he wanted his students to read the assignments every night and do everything with that so they could have more of a discussion in class when he taught. And I was just not one of those. I don't like reading. I didn't read ever, except for one time. But
one time
I did, and I freaking killed it in class. But so I just kept quiet in class, didn't read, and even some of my a lot of my quizzes weren't very good. But then I would do some, but then I'd do okay on the test, and that's also because I learned I was really good at making guesses in multiple choice tests, especially during that year. For some reason, I was just really, really good, and so I didn't put a lot of effort into it, and I sat right next to a guy who put the most effort into it.
Of course.
That comparison. I literally sat in front of him. He sat behind me, and so he was the one who read every night, was answering all the questions. You got me sitting in front, who's just trying to avoid everything that I could, and just not even fully paying attention in class. And so he's just, I don't know how he started noticing or how he got involved with playing, because we'd play with the board games, we'd play Risk with him on Friday nights, and it would get competitive. And I think he kind of knew that I had, he had respect for my intelligence and capabilities. But I think it frustrated him that he didn't put really any effort into it.
Yeah.
And so, which kind of showed through our playing the game, because when we would play, it'd be, especially at the very beginning, it'd be me and one of our buddies, Daniel, against, it would end up being, me and Daniel against Sarang, another buddy, Sarang, and Jenkins a lot. And
Phil was not there. He was just
not at these times. I remember, at the very beginning.
Oh, in the very beginning.
I think he came sometimes later on, but at the very beginning, that's kind of what it was. This was we had Jenkins again senior year. This was sophomore year, and so so we play in it. It's what it ended up being. I mean, Risk, you don't have teams, but you end up kind of making these teams, just these alliances.
Yeah.
So that's what it ended up being. It'd be us four, playing. Sarang would end up going with Jenkins. I would be with Daniel. Daniel was a very aggressive player, too aggressive, so he'd always be the first one out. And so it ended up being me against Jenkins and Sarang. And so even with that, I'd still almost win every match. And I'd always be able to take out Sarang and almost Jenkins, but then, he was a really smart guy. He went to Harvard, everything, really good in strategy games. And so he'd end up, ultimately beating me. That's just kind of how it always went. So I think he gained some respect for my intelligence through that, for what I could do, frustrated through my lack of effort and his class, especially because I think in general he wanted his students to read, and then I didn't, and I was very open that I didn't care, and that frustrated him too. Yeah. So that's where we had that kind of mutual. He had some respect for me outside of the classroom, but inside the classroom he just hated me, and he'd give me a lot of crap in class, during the class and stuff. And, I remember one time in particular where I just full on did not care. I can't remember what was going on. I think I didn't feel good that day or something, but because and that's frustrating to him too, is that I never knew the answers to any of the questions he would ask, and then my guy behind me knew all the answers. So one time in particular, he asked a question, and I didn't even try to think about what the answer would be. I was just like, I don't know. Just right away, he didn't even finish asking the question. I was like, I don't know. And he got a little frustrated.
You're just asking for it at that point.
Yeah.
Like
he got a little frustrated, and he's just like, well, think about it. Well, if this, and I don't remember what it was, but I'll use this kind of to give some reference. But, if A caused this to happen, and then so they took, they brought forth B to, that was contradictory to it or something, like what would cause to happen? And I was like, well, I guess it would make it so A couldn't happen. So they brought B in to contradict it. And he's like, and I just made my answer simple. I was like, oh, I guess it made it so that it couldn't be done. Whatever, what was happening.
Yeah.
And so I remember he just looked down at the ground. He's like, oh, he's had this gum in his mouth, took it out, was pissed. And then he called on like two other people to answer. They said the exact same thing as me, but in different words, more like, in depth. And I was like, what the frick, dude? Like, that's what I said. So just in, more simple terms, but I mean, nonetheless, that was kind of our in-class relationship with just that frustration, kind of butting heads. And then after, any other time we're playing games, like, I think there's mutual respect. I also, have claimed to being the only person to ever, from, at the time at least, I mean, this is 15 years ago now, but to have ever beaten him in chess as a student. And that was pretty cool. And of course, after I beat him, I never played him again because I don't want, I don't want to risk that perfect.
Gotta keep the win ratio
exactly.
clean,
Which I found out like that was a bigger claim, a bigger, thing than what I realized because I'd hear about it from classes after that would hear about it because he would talk about it to people who were in lower grades than us when, as we progressed, and they'd bring it up to me that, oh yeah, so you're the guy who beat him in chess because he was talking about it. Now he's frustrated over that. So, but that was a good day too. That was actually one of the most amazing chess games I'd played, randomly going off on more tangents. But, cause I think there's only like a total of 4 pieces taken on both sides before checkmate happened.
Oh my God.
It was insane. Like
you devastated him.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, on both sides, like neither one of us wanted to commit to anything and cause anything. So it just became this whole, like, we're just moving, kind of avoiding conflict, kind of avoiding very, very minimal conflict. And I remember, like, I was playing him, and then our friend Daniel, who was always very competitive with me, he ended up helping Jenkins. So it was like I was playing 2 guys. And so I remember they were talking, and I saw a checkmate coming. And I don't know how they didn't see it, but I had it all set up. And they, right when I'm about to hit the next move to checkmate him, I just thought it was so funny because they got in this whole discussion of how he needed to start a bloodbath in the middle of the board because nothing was happening. And so they make a move, take one of pieces to start this bloodbath, and then my very next move was a checkmate. So, so it quickly ended, no bloodbath. That's the least amount of pieces I've ever lost before a checkmate and that I've ever seen lost on either side with playing chess. So, so that's kind of how our, interesting relationship was with me and Jenkins, is kind of being someone who could compete with him in games, and also, someone who frustrated him a lot through not only someone who could beat him in games, but also who didn't really meet what he wanted from a student. Basically,
I know Mr. Jenkins too, because my friends who all went to Kramer Middle School, they went to Valencia, and Jenkins is still teaching the same stuff. I think he teaches, it's a different class now. I think it's econ. It's micro and macro econ.
Yeah.
And they always tell me about how Jenkins always tells his class about how he used to have like anger issues, like back in high school. So,
yeah, I guess early on in his teaching, which we were still kind of towards the early part of his teaching, but not the early part that saw as his anger fits as much. But he would talk about like throwing a chair or something, or he'd just be so pissed off. But you could see little bits of it, and I would definitely pick at those little bits. I would kind of hit those little push those little buttons that would make him mad. But I mean, it was fun. So I like him. He was a great teacher. Like I said, I think I just frustrated him. But hey, it was good stuff. I liked. He had great classes. It was fun having him again senior year. So, but like I said, when I beat him on that chess game, I never played him again because I had to keep that perfect record
Dude, you gotta go back and like visit him. Be like, dude, we gotta play Risk for old time's sake.
Right? Yeah, Risk. No chess. I will never play him again in chess. I cannot blemish that record.
Well, if
Risk
Daniel helps out Jenkins, I'll help out you. So it'll be an even fight.
Well, that'll be good. Hopefully, Daniel's just as aggressive as he was before. And then he could just knock out real quick and then just focus on one guy.
And Daniel is like the most like successful guy out of the group, right? Because he was, are we allowed to talk about this or?
Yeah, sure. I guess. I mean, we don't know his last name, or they don't know his last name.
Oh yeah, so
we can say whatever we want.
He basically worked with Elon Musk pretty early on, right? So he's just living it right now, basically, or he'll be set.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know for sure, but he probably has a lot of very lucrative stock options.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I know regardless, he's a really frugal person. He's like kind of like Stephen Graham. So it's like...
He's doing good.
You mean Graham Stephan?
Graham Stephan, yeah. Yeah, so we talked about your social life a little bit, just playing board games and whatever. I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but like, what were the game types you played? Like, if you were going online, playing some online matchmaking, what was like your go-to?
For Halo?
Yeah.
Usually Slayer. Honestly, I just liked killing people, which is why in Capture the Flag, I didn't really go for the flag. I just killed people. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would play Capture the Flag occasionally if there's no good Slayer options to play. King of the Hill, I played sometimes. But that one probably the least most. But those are kind of the big three that you could say that I'd play, with Slayer being a high favorite at the top.
Okay, interesting. I mean, for me, it's like honestly, like my go-tos is like Slayer, FFA. I think FFA is pretty fun, and then I play Infection. But you guys didn't have Infection back then.
I don't think so. I don't remember. It sounds somewhat familiar, but maybe that's because that one time I played with you guys. But definitely, if I did, I don't remember it very well. So. Yeah.
I know in Halo 2, like Infection was like a bit wonky. It wasn't like a set game type, I think. It was more like custom games and whatever until like Halo 3. So,
Probably. Sounds about right.
So, let's talk about like the social scene of Halo. So, like, was Halo like pretty popular back when you guys were going to school? Like, did people talk about it quite a bit? Like, was it like the Fortnite of 2005? Or
no, only if you were a nerd.
Yeah, true.
This is like before people were like rich from playing video games. You have to realize that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't cool at all. Because like now it's cool because you have like clout and you have like money if you're good at video games or you're popular online. But back then it wasn't like that.
A lot of guys would just talk about like playing Fortnite, but like, oh, like I got like an 8-kill game on or I got 8-kill win on Fortnite the other day.
Right. I think a big part of it too is that the social media was so different.
Yeah.
Back then it was MySpace, which is not the same as
I don't think
now.
anyone will even know about MySpace.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're like under 15, you wouldn't know
Facebook
about that.
And even then, like it's not like Facebook, MySpace is good for promoting something like that.
Dude, recently Tom from MySpace like tweeted or something that he was buying the Bitcoin dip. Mm-hmm. But yeah, remember Tom?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
He was everyone's friend.
Yeah, everyone's first friend on MySpace.
Oh, did Tom found MySpace? Or?
Yeah,
he was the founder.
And he sold it for.
Whenever you made a profile, he was an automatically set up as your friend.
Yeah, your first friend
for everyone.
Yeah.
Can you unfriend him?
I don't know.
I never tried.
I never tried either. I feel like you can. I mean, I don't see why not. But who knows? Maybe he set it up so you couldn't. You had to be his friend.
He just wanted some friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man, I mean, like, yeah, when I was growing up, it was basically, I think MySpace was already like dying. It was mostly just like Facebook, and like high school, it started to be like Instagram and Snapchat, and then like Facebook, like no one really uses Facebook at my age. It's mostly just Snapchat and Instagram. Yeah.
TikTok.
Oh fuck TikTok. That's like 15 under, dude. Like I don't touch TikTok. Like literally, like so I was at university. It was a couple months ago, and my roommate was asking about like celebrities who like go to Cornell, and so like we're just talking about it, and my roommate was like, "Oh, like I think there's like a TikToker who has like 2 million followers who goes to Cornell," and I'm like, "Dude, TikTokers don't count as celebrities. Like, fuck them." Like,
yeah, I went as far as Facebook with my social media. And that's basically where I'm at.
So no Instagram or no Snap?
No, I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter. Actually, I made a Twitter just to follow Samuel L. Jackson's tweets during the Olympics because he had some really nice commentary about it. That's the only reason I had Twitter, but obviously don't use that now. Olympics are over. It's been over for a long time. That's it. No TikTok, none of that stuff. So I just kind of hang out, I guess.
No, honestly, I feel like I have a Twitter, but it's like, I feel like just like a lot of cancel culture and just like really like they argue about like pointless stuff on Twitter, honestly.
Yeah, I guess I've never felt a need for it. I mean, I've been married for a while now. Like I just kind of do stuff with my wife and kids. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't really have this need to be on social media, commenting on things that often. Yeah. So at least at this point in my life, I don't know, we're up to this point, so just haven't needed it. So
you go on Reddit pretty often, though, don't you?
More recently, yeah, I started going on Reddit, reading random stuff. So I like Reddit a lot. It's a good one.
Yeah, I like Reddit too, honestly.
Just reading random stuff and the topics and seeing people's perspectives on things.
There's savage comments. The people on Reddit are brutal, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, have you gone on like our politics before?
No.
Our politics is the most leftist group you'll ever see. And literally, if you just mention I'm Republican, you get minus like 3,000 downvotes. I'm not even joking about this. It's bad. But yeah, some Reddit communities are kind of weird. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on Reddit, honestly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so do you have like any tips for other players to get better at playing Halo? Like, what was your go-to to get better? I know you talked a little bit about it, but
I think right now, obviously watching some videos is really good, especially people who might have some commentary tips as far as like maybe weapons to use, certain, how to run through different maps, and also just really playing, like a lot of online playing specifically, and especially against people who are, at least as good as you, if not better, because obviously it's hard to get better when you're just going after really weak people and their easy kills.
Probably get worse actually if you play people who are too far below you.
Trying to work on your sniping from afar and just shooting them while they're running around or something. So other than that, I think in general, playing often, because that's how I got better as a play. I play a lot. If you're just starting in Halo, I think it helped me a lot finishing campaign mode, just to get a good idea of the use of the different weapons and how to use them effectively, especially when you finish it on is it legendary mode still the highest?
Yeah, legendary. Yeah,
I know legendary helped a lot because that one was very, very difficult to defeat. And once you finish campaign mode on legendary, you're already gonna have a fairly good set of skill to be competitive. And then from there, it's just kind of tweaking those things that you do through actually going against real life people who aren't the AI, and learning that through playing them and using those things. And I mean, watching how some people play and the weapons they use and how they use them is really effective as well, which you can use through YouTube. So
yeah, it's like for me, it's like I remember I completed I never really played gold until I finished the Halo Reach campaign on legendary. And I felt like that really helped me get, have a better start into playing matchmaking. Because it kind of helps develop your brain into things, certain techniques and whatever, facing people, and just your overall gun skills in general.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So do you have any current ventures right now? What do you do in real life?
Right now I work as a nurse. Like I said, I spend a lot of time with that right now, as well as with my family. I mean, my biggest hobbies that I would try to do is I've always been active in playing sports. I play basketball whenever, it was available. I had a group of guys to play with. Mm-hmm. As of now, I don't. Because the group of guys I did play with, we moved from. So as of now, just kind of really hanging out at home, trying to work on, I'm learning stuff with stocks right now, just kind of investing my time in things like that, and family. So, yeah.
What are your stock picks right now?
Oh gosh, I'm not that advanced. I'm still I'm still very, very base on that. That's like, I'm at the very beginning of it. So I'm not a good person to ask about really anything specific. So I think I'm going to be more aggressive in that, over the next year. I'm learning a lot, getting a base understanding. And then next year, hopefully, or sometime soon after, may throw some real money after I've, played around with the, play money, the paper money that they have available to kind of make sure, I don't lose all the money that I have.
So you're using paper money right now too?
Yeah, I'll do that first for a while and be patient with it before, because it's not like I make millions of dollars that I can just throw in, little bits at a time and say if I lose like 5,000 here or there, it's not that big of a deal. So, so I'm trying to, make sure I have a good system in place before, I start really getting into it, and then just go really aggressive on that. And obviously once I pay off my student loans, which should be hopefully soon here, then I can throw even more, capital at that. So that's the plan. That's
I thought you might, I know you're on Reddit, so I thought you might be part of the Wall Street Bets community.
Not currently. I just look at random stupid stuff on Reddit, to be honest. Like, what was the last thing I looked at? I don't know, just a random thing. I was just curious. It was like, can a person be friends with an ex if they're married? Things like that.
Did you really search that?
I did. Just I was curious what people's like.
What were they saying?
It depends, which is what I thought. Like, it sounds like it depends on.
It's a cop-out answer.
More specifically, not just, it wasn't, so people had better answers than just, it depends. No, they were like specific, like they were saying like you definitely time away from that person for it to have any chance of working. Like you can't just be like break up and a week later, we're friends,
Yeah.
And so you definitely need time to let, make sure the feelings are gone, you've moved on both sides, and then you may work on a fun relationship that'll work. It also depends just on personalities. Like if the person had a personality you liked that you could hang out with as a friend, like for instance some guys, like for instance we date a girl and they don't have, they're not that fun to hang out with, if you're not getting other things from them. So like, and so once you take away that thing, like, it's hard to be friends with them, in that way. So, but where there's other girls who are really, cool to hang out with, they're a lot of fun, they have a lot of your same interests, and then that could be something possible. So, ultimately, it sounded like that was the gist I was getting from people's comments, which I found very interesting, was that, it has to be time in between, a good amount of time. Obviously, as long as the breakup wasn't like a bad one, typically, then that'll work. And then obviously having some type of level of interest there, because there were people who said, I can't do it, I could never do it, it doesn't work. Or some people who had tried, and other people were like, yeah, I'm friends with both of my exes, and we're great friends, and been friends for a long time. And then one guy who he had a funny comment. He was saying that, yeah, dude, like I dated my high school sweetheart for 4 years. We broke up. Then she got married, and 10 years later, we're really good friends, and the sex hasn't been better before. So it's the best sex now that I've ever had. And so like obviously insinuating that he's having sex with her while she's married to some other dude. But so that's why Reddit's great. You get comments like that, and little insights to people's experiences, and just random stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I feel like all the best memes like come from Reddit. Like they all originate from Reddit for the most part.
Sure.
Yeah, and they slowly funnel into like Instagram, and then they die in Facebook usually.
No, for sure.
Like, Facebook is just like for boomers now. There's no creativity there.
Yeah, because Reddit, you can be very open, and people are very very open on Reddit, and they just let loose. I can think one time I sent to Phil one guy's comment. What was it? I think it was a thread that was, if you could pick one person to to have sleep with or have sex with, who would it be? Who would be that one person you would choose? And one guy, his comment was that he would choose his wife who had died prematurely. Like they'd only been married a very short period of time, but like the love he had for her, all this stuff just made this, the sex, love making so good, this and that and this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, followed up with a guy's comment saying, I also choose that guy's wife.
Oh, what a savage. What the fuck?
Right? So, I mean, you get sweet
I think I
that.
saw that post, actually. Like, I think it was, like, hot or something, because I think I saw that, too.
Yeah, it's savage. Like, people are just so savage on there. It's awesome.
Yeah. But, yeah, I definitely recommend going to Wall Street Bets if you want some, like, fun stock memes and whatever. There's always like posts like people saying like, oh, this stock is going to go to the moon, like going to like 10x in one day. And they're like, oh, this investment literally cannot go tits up. Like my DD is solid, So yeah.
Wait, what's DD?
DD is due diligence.
Oh.
Yeah. So they'll do their due diligence and post about it and whatever. And like, I remember there was like a post on Wall Street Bets. Everyone made fun of him. So basically, he was asking like if a stock could go down 1,000%.
Stupid, dude.
And of course, that's not possible. I was like shorting or whatever. Like, that can't happen.
Even shorting a stock can't go down 1,000%. You can just lose infinite money.
Yeah, you can lose 1,000%.
Yes.
If you're short, but
Yes.
if you just own a stock, you can't lose more than 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, some of the people there are interesting. I'll say that much.
I bet.
And it's crazy. Like some people throw like, I saw a post the other day. It was like someone threw $500,000 at GameStop. Just $500,000 at GameStop, and I was like, what? It's like your life savings. Like you really trust whatever the guy's name is, Ryan Cohen, that much? Wow. So do you have anything else to say? I feel like we've covered quite a bit.
Yeah. Hey, every day.
Nathan has other things to say, but it's not appropriate for YouTube, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
it's fine.
That's for my OnlyFans channel soon to come, right?
Oh, yeah, link in the
Exactly.
description.
You forgot about that, man. That is social media. OnlyFans.
If you want my real content.
The only one that you use, OnlyFans.
Is OnlyFans only or is there like other?
No, you can not.
You can do anything on there.
Yeah,
Really?
You don't even need explicit content.
But it's mostly for. I mean, you can post anything you want on Pornhub. You can post like a regular video.
Yeah, it's like.
But
for the
it's
longest
mostly
time.
for.
Yeah, for the longest time where you didn't need to be verified on Pornhub. Like people would just post like the entire movie, like Avengers Endgame.
On Pornhub? And it wouldn't get taken down for a long time, huh?
Yeah, it's like literally like. So like me and Justin, my good friend, so we were trying to find Rick and Morty for the longest time, and like literally Justin texted me one day and he was like, "Dude, you won't believe it! Like it's on Pornhub. Like the entire season's on Pornhub."
Well, what he was doing when he found it.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably like jerking off to some other video. And it was one of the recommended videos.
He's like, "Hey, this is an explicit Rick and Morty, huh?"
Can you imagine, dude, like you get in trouble at work because they look at your browser history and it's all Pornhub and you're like, but I was only watching Rick and Morty. You're like, okay, dude. Yeah, really? Okay.
Good excuse.
Watching Avengers.
Get the hell out of here, dude.
Like imagine like your family wanted to like watch Avengers Endgame and you can't buy it, so you just pull it up on Pornhub. And you're watching like midway and like a porn ad like pops up. Like that'd be so embarrassing. Right? Yeah, some like cam girl ad pops up.
Well, of course that would happen like right when you click on the video, right, to play, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, come over here, it just sends you this other site or something.
No, I remember that happened one time. It wasn't like exactly Pornhub, but me or my mom wanted to watch. I think it was. The sequel to The Shining. I forgot what the movie was called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It came out like 2 years ago. It was like a horror movie.
Yeah. Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange, I think, yes. And so she wanted to watch that movie, so I pulled it up on this illegal site.
Or is Doctor Sleep?
Doctor Sleep, yes, Doctor Sleep, yeah. So I was like trying to open it, and of course, like these like external stuff like pops up, and like of course, like one that's like a fucking like site. My mom's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just close it out."
Dude, yeah, I remember back in the day of illegal downloads and doing that and having to filter through and making sure to you're actually getting the song you wanted instead of like a porn video, and showing my girlfriend at the time this, and having she mistakenly downloaded lots of porn. Going through it on her parents' computer, and luckily they didn't discover it, but it was pretty funny. She's like, "What the frick is going on?" Like, I just went here to play the song, this porn video just started playing, you know. So, yeah.
No, I remember there's one time where I was trying to download 50 Shades of Grey to watch, and I tried downloading it. So I downloaded it from whatever website, and so I opened it like 2 days later to like watch it on like I forgot, it was like Saturday night or whatever. And it was 50 Shades of Grey technically, but it was a girl literally masturbating naked while like reading the book, the entire book naked. Gosh. So I was like, nice. Oh, that's definitely not the right thing I was looking for.
Well, you still watched the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Skim through it.
You didn't stop, but you turn the sound off and just watch. Right?
The more important question is, why were you trying to watch 50 Shades of Grey?
Because I think Amy recommended it to me, so I was trying to watch it.
I like how you just like glossed over that as if it was like normal.
No, but then like we actually, like me, Amy, Justin, and another girl named Kiana, we actually watched 50 Shades of Grey. This was like last year. So we watched it, and you know, Amy and Kiana were saying it was like a really good movie. So we watched the entire thing, and like me and Justin like came out of it, and we're just like, it was just like porn. It was just like softcore porn the entire time. There's no storyline. It was like we just wasted like an hour and a half of our time, and now we're just horny. It's God damn it.
Oh.
So I don't know. Before we go, do you and Phil have any crazy stories, whether that be Halo related or not?
What do you think, Phil? What do you got?
Crazy stories?
Yeah.
Halo? I mean, I don't have any crazy Halo stories.
I can't think of any crazy Halo stories off the top of my head. So I think I gave what I have. I mean, fortunately, it's been 15 years, so a lot of it's out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was fun when it lasted there, and then it is what it is now, I guess.
Are you gonna allow your kids to play Halo?
Oh yeah, totally, man.
Okay,
totally.
Cool.
It's probably when I'll get back into gaming.
Like just carrying your children.
Although it does remind me playing with one of the guys we played in high school at his house, and his dad played. Mm-hmm. And I remember I kept killing his dad, and I was sitting next to him, and his dad was like getting pissed. And so I started getting freaked out. I was like, "Oh shoot, please don't figure out who I am," because I think he would have murdered me. He figured out it was me because he was getting so angry that he was getting killed. So I'll probably end up being that dad later on. It's like cursing up a storm, you know, playing with my kids and their friends.
No, yeah, my best friend back in elementary, middle school, and we still talk quite a bit in high school, but he went to Valencia High School, and I went to Yorba Buena High School. So his dad also played Halo, so he was like a really big Halo guy. So it was like kind of weird sometimes because like we'll be playing together and like his dad would hop on split screen. It'd be so weird to be like talking in the voice chat and like his dad's like giving call outs or whatever. It just felt weird. It's like a 40-year-old guy, like this 40-year-old like Japanese guy like giving us call outs. It's like, okay.
It's gonna be me, dude. That's the dream that I'm working towards right now.
I mean that weird guy, that 40-year-old guy in voice chat. Standing up for your kids who are getting like sniped, dude, or farmed.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll be the one sniping my kids probably.
You're betraying your kids.
Exactly,
oh my
dude.
God, it's such a savage move. Your kids are crying or whatever, but it's like got to win the game, you know.
That's what it's all about, dude. I'll be watching his screen to know where he's at.
Oh, it's such a savage move, honestly.
That's the type of father I want to be. So
definitely better than our parents. We barely got allowed to play any video games when we were kids.
Yeah.
It was just like the 30 minutes on Friday and Saturday, and that was basically it. That was like all the time we got to play Halo. 30 minutes. It was bad. And eventually increased to like 1 hour.
No, you played more than that, dude.
No, back when I was like 5th grade, it was 30 minutes.
Oh, 5th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And once I turned like 7th or 8th grade, she bumped up like an hour a day on the weekends only, not weekdays. And then...
But you go over that, though.
No, she'll go crazy. Remember I told her, I don't even want to mention it.
But she was going crazy because you were going over it.
Like 10 minutes over. Like 10 minutes over, you know?
3 hours later. It's only been 10 minutes.
I mean, that was Zachary and Schwaz, where like he would like blatantly like be like 45 minutes over, and he'd be like, "I'm not leaving," and like of course like the mom like brings out like the big textbook or the encyclopedia and starts throwing it at him. Yeah.
It's funny. You could just unplug the Xbox. Like, why do you need to like throw stuff at somebody? You know. It seems like so inefficient.
It's like the Asian way, you know. You gotta, throw things at your children.
Do everything except the thing that you actually want to happen.
Does unplugging it physically hurt them, though?
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's true. Good point. Good point.
No, I remember so like, did your parents like ever like take away your controllers or whatever, or your Xbox?
No, they did not. I don't even think they ever threatened to or anything. I don't know. They just kind of let me do my thing.
Because like for like my mom's deal, like I think what she resorted to was like she would just like hide my controller. So like literally like I was like she'll be gone for like 5 hours, and I'll spend like 5 hours trying to find it. And sometimes I get really lucky. I'll find it like within the first 5 minutes. I'm like, hell yeah. And sometimes it'll take me like 3 or 4 hours to find it, or I'll just like never find it. And like I was like find out in the very end. It was like my mom like pulled out the controller like three weeks later, and I was like in a really stupid spot. I just like went over like 20 times. Oh, gosh. It'd be like behind the books or some shit, and I was get so pissed. Like, God damn it! I could have played like 15 hours of Halo, but instead I was like looking for it for 15 hours.
Oh right, yeah.
But you wouldn't notice that it wasn't like exactly the way that you expected.
Yeah, so I mean, she's not gonna be listening to this, but basically, I remember my go-to plan. I mean, we're all old now. Hopefully, she doesn't care. My go-to was so when I was like really little, I would take it, right, and like 5 minutes before she comes back, I just put it back, because like if I just like left it out, she'll know like I've been taking it. And when I got older, like high school, my go-to plan was like actually take a picture of it. So I would know the exact position of it. So like I can put it like exactly how it was, even like straighten out the sheets or whatever, like where it was. Make sure all the sheets look the same. I was like really careful about it. The lengths I had to go through, man.
I don't know. Torture.
And I actually went into YouTube. I started making YouTube videos because I couldn't play like the majority of the time, like whatever time I had, and I couldn't play Xbox, I would just do YouTube videos and just use whatever footage I recorded and just edit that. So I would, have something to do related to Halo. Yeah, so I guess like my mom didn't take away my stuff or whatever, and didn't take away my controller and stuff, I probably would not have made a YouTube channel or gone bigger doing it, I guess.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that. Blessing in disguise. Silver lining.
Of course, this gives mom an excuse that her parenting skills were actually good, She's like, oh, God. But I think like if I ever had kids somehow, like I probably like I would set limits, but definitely not like to the extreme my mom did. I feel like that's not healthy. Because then like if you do have like unlimited time, you just like binge like crazy.
Yeah.
I remember one time my parents left for this conference over the weekend, and they left on Sunday morning, and they came back like Monday afternoon. And I kid you not, I went for about 12 to 14 hours straight, and then slept for like 5 hours and went to school right after. So it was nuts. It was nuts. I just had no self-control because of all those limits.
Right. Yeah, luckily my parents let me roam free pretty well. Sometimes I feel a little too free. But, I mean, yeah, I definitely didn't have that feeling of needing to, like I was being held back by anything at any time. So definitely a little different experience there.
So, like, last question before we go. So we've been talking about, parents and whatever. So, like, are you going to put some limits on your kids, like, when they grow up, like, on video games? Or is it just going to be more just, like, laissez-faire?
Yeah, I'll have some limits, more than probably what my parents had, but not too extreme. I think basically the limit's really only going to be, like, for instance, when they're done with their work, like, I don't really care what they do. If they want to go outside and play, go outside and play. Yeah. Like, if you want to just play video games all day, but your work's all done, and play video games all day, whatever, man, if that's what you want to do. So other than, obviously we have some like family thing we're going to go do together. Obviously they'll have to come for that. You can't ditch out on that. But I mean, if you want to spend, your Saturday playing hours and hours of Halo or something, then feel free, man. As long as you get your stuff done, like,
Yeah, exactly.
Fill in the gaps however you want with whatever you want to do. So
my deal is like, I remember like in school, it's like if I finish my homework and I finish studying, it's like I should be able to play however long I want, Mm-hmm.
And what if they get the work done, but it's not good? Like they're getting bad grades. They're turning in the assignments, but they're doing poorly on them.
Yeah, because I'll have like a limit where they need to be making Bs. I feel like anyone should be able to make a B fine, reasonably. So, I mean, yeah, if they're just, doing stuff, just filling out stuff and not putting forth really any effort at all, then, yeah, obviously, like, things will change, try to figure out what the issue is. But, as long as they're meeting, getting at least Bs and getting things done the way they should. I mean, honestly, like, who cares, man? If you don't do your homework and you still get Bs, then go ahead. Like, I guess, once you're, I think, in high school, like, I feel like I'll probably give more freedom at that point. Because, I mean, although it's not quite like college where you can literally, like, homework's not a grade. Like,
yeah.
In high school, usually you get, a big portion of your grade is homework. But, I mean, if they can figure it out some way to whatever they need to do to get the B, then do that, But obviously things will get stricter if they are not meeting those, those grade requirements. So
my dream is for your kids to go to Valencia High School and have Mr. Jenkins again.
Right.
Because like I think he'll still be teaching by then, honestly.
Yeah.
In 10 years, I think he still will be towards the end of his career, but that'd be super interesting.
Yeah, I'll say do all schoolwork for all your other classes except for his. Don't read for his class. Do the same thing I did. Yeah,
that'd be funny. It's like your kids are asking, like, "Oh, can we play Halo?" And you're like, "Have you finished your homework?" And they're just like, "Yeah, we finished like most of it, but we haven't finished like AP Euro homework." And you're just like, "Oh, that's fine.
You don't
like,
need that.
Yeah, Mr. Jenkins' homework. I screw him over.
Pretty much, screw that guy, dude. Yeah, forget him. His econ, whatever, dude. Forget that. You're better off. You're better off not doing it. Trust me. Yeah, another way I can give him more sting, going forward. I'll just haunt him for the rest of his life.
20 years after you're gone, he's still feeling your pain.
Yeah, he's like, I thought I got rid of him, and he keeps coming back.
Oh, my God. You're like a phoenix.
Yeah, dude.
Regenerate.
Just come back. Yeah, come back better and stronger than before.
Do you have a son?
I do have a son.
Does he look like you?
He does look a lot like
me. Man, that'd be interesting. It's like basically a clone of you just coming into Mr.
that
Jenkins'
image
class.
Coming back. He'll like PTSD.
Just see a therapist,
like right.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Now I have to do that. I have to make sure he's still working and teaching that he doesn't get too old. Hopefully, but maybe he'll be more grumpy in his old age. Like cause him to, I don't know. Who knows? Give him a heart attack or something.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, number 2. I felt it was pretty interesting. Got some insight on how Halo was back in the old days. It was just the pioneer days. It was the Wild West.
The best, yep. With the pistol.
So any last words before we head out here?
Just keep up the good work, guys. You guys are the real heroes.
All right. Well, yeah. Remember, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, subscribe. Let us know if you want any other guests. I'll definitely have Eagle Precursor on at some point, so that's going to happen. I'm going to force him on if he doesn't want to. But that's pretty much it. Let me know down in the comments what was your favorite part of the video. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.
See ya.